Even if you're not following the news in the RPG world, you may have heard about the current situation with Wizards of the Coast, the creators of Dungeons and Dragons, and something called OGL, Open Game License. I'm here to spill the tea and help you understand why it's such a big deal that everybody from small YouTubers to The Guardian are talking about this. Well, first of all, Dungeons and Dragons have been around for a couple decades now and has been played by thousands, possibly millions of people. And throughout most of its history, it's been connected to something called Open Game License, which allowed other people to craft content, as in create their own classes, spells, adventures, and any other kind of supplemental materials to Dungeons and Dragons based on the D&D's descriptions that were already in the main rulebook. Over the years, all of that accumulated into a giant pile of content that if you play the game, then you can use, you can buy from third-party creators, and you can implement in your games. And it's an arguable fact that this kind of community support is exactly what kept Dungeons and Dragons going when it was in its very poor phases, when it was definitely not performing well enough to stay on the market, and when it wasn't good enough, and when it wasn't a trendy topic that, celebrities play. Many games have been created based on the Open Game License, using parts of the mechanics from the D&D and sometimes referring to those. You may have heard about the other big fantasy game called Pathfinder, which now has a second edition. And, many other games have this Open Game License at the end of the book. Just to cover their legal basis and also allow other creators to, again, take this material and make something new with it, making the hobby stay alive. And here's what's happening now. We have learned through a series of leaks that Wizards of the Coast are trying to change the Open Game License by revoking the previous one and demanding basically everybody who uses any type of mechanic or any kind of material connected to Dungeons and Dragons to report to them exactly what they're doing, how much they're selling, and above a certain amount of gross income, which would mostly cover people making money on the Kickstarter, to give them 25% royalties, which is an insane amount that would basically ruin most of those creators, because we are operating on very small margins. But the most important thing is they reserve the right to revoke that license for any creator whatsoever, for any reason whatsoever, even if you didn't do anything wrong, provided they give you 30 days of heads up. Do you know what's the product timeline for big projects like adventures or game supplements? It's months. It's literally months, sometimes years. The book I'm working on is in the works for over a year, and it's still going to be half of it. I am not working on Open Game License, so I am personally not affected, but other creators who are working in the industry and are trying to create something new and original and fun, they would just find themselves in those unsustainable and livable conditions in which they do not know if the project that they've been working on for the past year and paid off writers and artists and layout artists, editors, that their project isn't going to be axed because Wizards of the Coast decided that the license is being revoked. There is no saying. This is an absolute outrage that would stifle the whole RPG industry. It would stifle even the home games. It's a blatant cash grab, and they don't care. Well, they care enough to currently be quiet on the front, Although there have been more leaks about some emails, and I don't know. We'll see. There is some movement on the indie side of the industry, and by indie I mean anybody who's not Wizard of the Coast, and it looks like we might be, thanks to Paizo, creators of Pathfinder, introducing a new gaming license, an open RPG creative license under the working hashtag of org. And we'll see how it works. I am, as somebody who's not working under the open gaming license, I am optimistic looking into the future. I feel very much for the people who are working under the open gaming license and don't know how their livelihood is going to look in a couple of months. I just hope that we will collectively say no to Wizards of the Coast and we'll just switch to other games. Which is something I wish for yourself and for me. Well, I'm not playing D&D, but I wish everybody the best. So the situation is still in the air. We don't know where exactly it's going to land, but I'm gonna keep updating you. So that's what's happening in the RPG industry, and that's why you keep seeing Dungeons and Dragons on more than just industry news. Hope that helped. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and I'll try to answer them. That is botched. Like and subscribe our channel. That's not a word. Nope. Why can't I say 3 sentences in a row?
If you want, you can lip sync and I'm gonna say it.
Come here.
Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. It helps us greatly, except for the bell button, because that doesn't do Or maybe it does. I don't know. I never pressed it, and neither should you. I dare you not to do it.
I press the bell button, don't you?
I press the belly button. I never get a notification about that. Okay, now you go. In the jungle, the quiet jungle, the lion sleeps tonight.
Ah, Wimbawe.